So guys, as I've said, you are going to write a test on Monday and 10 o'clock. So that test is all about C++. And you have to understand something. It's a test. We are testing your knowledge. So from that test, we will see if you, whatever things that I was giving you on C++, if you really know. And also know that it's not just an ordinary test, is a test that is going to form a part of your semester mark. So before I go with the revision and the question and answer, I want to show you this screen. So I want to show you this screen. I believe that is visible to everyone. As for now, there's no any other explanation again about the exam. I'm sure that you all know that you are not going to write the exam. And even though you are not going to write the exam, but you have to write the test, assignments, and also the practicals. Do the presentation of the projects or practicals. So in our case, for this semester, the structure stands this way. Your final marks, it will be 100%. Then the 60% you get it from the test. So that test 1, main test 1, main test 2, they form 60% of the final mark. We also have the assignments, and on assignments, those assignments, there are 6 assignments on the lecture notes. So if you check the lecture notes, the last pages, there are assignments. Assignment 1, 2, 3, 4. So I said is that assignment 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to do it alone, and 5 and 6 you can submit as a group. So that assignment 1, 2, 3, 4 will form 20% of your final mark. And the last part, which is the project or presentation or practical mark. So in our case, you already did the PowerPoint presentation. The last part is the one that it was supposed to be called a project, the one that you are going to do it together with your group members. So you form that group member, and then you do 5 and 6 on the assignments. So the 5 and 6 on the assignments will form part of the project. So you sit together with your group member and do 5 and 6. So the 5 and 6 will form the part of your project mark. So altogether, those they are going to give 20%. So let me just open it so that you will see those assignments. So someone asked me, where are the assignments? So I'm sure that every time when I explain this one, these people, they don't even understand. And okay, here are the exercises. So in this exercise, the first one, the second one, this one, and the third one, and the fourth one, you are doing it alone, individually. So if you finish this one, you show me. You finish this one, you show me. You finish this one, I give you mark for all of this until this one. So these 4 of them will be part of those assignments that I have given here, assignment 1, 2, 3, 4. So after doing that, you will get the 20%. So if you finish those 4 as 4 exercises, you get this 20%. So if you finish the first one, come to me and say, I'm done with this one. I give you the mark for assignment 1. So the first one is the factorial one. The second one is the one that the user has to enter 2 numbers after the menu should prompt the user to decide whether add, divide, subtract, or multiply. The other one just calculate this value of u, and the other one just calculate the area of a rectangle. So if you finish this one by one, just finish it, you bring it to me, say I'm done with assignment 1, I'm done for assignment 2, I'm done for assignment 3, I'm done for assignment 4. Then from there, your marks for the assignment will be complete. And after that, because the presentation you already did, then your marks for presentation is sorted. Then you have to do 5 and 6 together with your group members. So on this one, you come together in group, and then I evaluate you. Then if everything is sorted, then we give you the marks all together. Then it means that from then you will be done with FIT 1240. So if you want to speed up the process after Monday, you can tell yourself that by Friday we want to finish this FIT 1240. You can finish by Friday if you really want to, because what is left from you is just that main test 2 that we are going to write on Monday. Then from there you work on the exercise. Once you're done, you bring it. Once you're done, you bring it. Once you're done, you bring it. And then from there, you are done for FIT 1240. Is there anyone who have any question regarding the final mark of FIT 1240? Is there anyone who has any question? Is there anyone who didn't understand it? Should we pass from that?
Yes, we can pass.
Okay, that's great. So now, I just want to do this revision. And my revision will start with, I just want the person whose microphone is on, can you please just make sure that is off or reduce the volume? It's already disturbing. I think it's illegal. Please just make sure that your microphone is off. Otherwise, I will put from this side. All right, it's fine. From all that you have done in C++, before I just do some simple revision, I just want to find out if there is anyone who's having any challenge. You can come with one challenge, then we do it together here, and then I proceed. Is there anyone who's having any kind of a challenge regarding C++? Which part do you think I can start with to do the revision today? Any part that you feel like, hey, in this part I don't understand, or regarding what you have checked on the previous question paper, if there's some of the things that you see there and you say, hey, there I didn't even understand what was going on. What am I expected to do from that part, or this question, this kind of a question? How do we go about answering this kind of a question? Those are kinds of questions that I will really want from you, so that at least if I can start from those questions, I will know which part I can start with to do today's revision. So, because some of the students will just come to my office and say, start from the beginning. But start from the beginning, I don't accept that. It's better for you to just say, there is this part that I don't understand. So if you just say start from the beginning, it seems like you don't even know what you are saying or what you are doing, because you must just come with a problem to say, here I was trying to do this, I didn't even understand how to go about this part. So that one is acceptable. But if you just say start from the beginning, then you are not saying anything. So I just want to hear the challenge first, then I can continue from there. Okay, there's someone here who says, from the previous question paper, I'm just reading from WhatsApp. So from the previous question paper, there is 4.4, question 4.4. I'm not sure if this one, yeah, this one was the exam one. So 4.4, how do you go about this? 4.4, create a C++ full program that calculates the surface area of a sphere, knowing that the surface area of a sphere is where r is the radius of a circle and the pi is given by 3,14. Okay, so I am sure that what I've, let me just open this code block here. Okay, I'm sure that you did understand the question. You can check it from the previous question paper. The question 4.4, it says, create a C++ full program that calculates surface area of a sphere, knowing that the surface area is given by 4 pi radius squared, and the radius and r is radius, and pi is given by 3,14. So what you have to do now first, so I'll just put this one in a comment. Here we are given the formula to say a area, so whatever things that you can write, area of a sphere is given by 4 pi r squared. So it means that it's r. So here I can just write the squared, but I will just put it here, r multiplied by r. I'll just write it this way. Okay, so now I have this formula. I have this formula, and from having this formula, you have to create a C++ full program that will calculate this. So it means that in this case, a user will only enter the value of r. In this case, it means that the user will only enter the value of r. Therefore, the other thing is the calculation will be done by the system itself. So what we have to do now, you check how many variables do we have from this. So we have the first variable, which is the main one for results, which is the area. We have the variable called pi. So you have the variable called r. So in this case, simple and straightforward, what you have to do first is to declare the variable that you want to use. What is the variable? Is just a portion of a memory to store a determined value. So you are going to create your own, to invent your own variable to say, okay, I want to call this, to give this variable a data type called double. So I'm going to give this the first variable a name called area. So you don't have to cram. Even if I say I'm giving the first variable a name called a, it's fine. I'm giving the second variable a name called pi, it's fine. and then the last one I will give it a name called R. So it means that now you declare the variable, 4 variables, 3 variables that you are going to use in this program. Then now, after declaration of variable, what do you have to do is to initialize the value to those variable. Here I'm just putting the comments. I'm just putting the comments, so you don't have to write that in exam or in a test. So here I'm just putting these comments. It's fine. So now, from here, you say now, after declaring this variable, we must give the value to each and every variable. So how do you do that? Is to initialize, to give it a value to this variable that we have. So then now, in this case, we understand that from the question says the pi is given by 3,14, and then the r, what will be the value of r? So the value of r will be entered by the user. So after the user measure the radius, because the user must first measure the radius, and after measuring the radius, then enter that radius, then the program itself will do the calculation. So in this case, our value of r will be given by the user. So it means if you want a user to enter the value from the keyboard, you use this cin. So we see in r. So, and then what will be, so we give the value of p, we give the value of r. So now we're going to initialize a. So our a will be given by 4 multiplied by pi multiplied by r multiplied by r, because it's pi radius squared. So radius squared, it means r multiplied by r. And from there you are going to output the value of what? Of a. So now here you can also, yes?
You didn't declare on pi.
You say?
You didn't declare on pi. Is it supposed to be like that? 3,14. On 3,14, is it supposed to be like that? You didn't declare.
I didn't declare what? The pi.
Yes.
Are you seeing the screen now?
You said pi is equals to 3,14. Aren't you supposed to declare at the end?
Oh, you mean to terminate, to end, like this?
Yes.
Yeah, that one is to terminate, to end. So declaration is this one. Declaration, this is how you declare the variables. So this one you were saying that I didn't end. So I didn't terminate the lines. Okay, thank you for that.
Yes.
Then it's fine. So now in this case here, you can first say, write it this way to say, okay, I want the program to first enter, to first ask a user to write this one on the screen, enter radius. Then that's it. So it means that now, even here, I can just copy this part and put it here and say area of sphere equals to area equals to a. So that's it. So here, this part you initialize the value, you initialize the value. You are initializing the value, give the value to pi, give the value to r, but this r will be given from the keyboard, and give the value for a. So the value of a is 4 pi r. So that's it. That's it. Then you just build it. You run it. So your program. So you created your own program. So in that program, if a user want to calculate the value of area of a sphere, what is required from the user is to go and measure the radius. After measuring the radius, come with the value and say, okay, after measuring my radius, I got that the radius is 4,2. So write 4,2 and enter. So it will say, okay, it means that the area of this sphere is 221,558. So that's it. Was it clear, or you need any explanation, or is there any other question? All right. Checking from the questions that I received on WhatsApp. While others are complaining about the network, but there's this other question on 4.5. So it's not like I'm going to just do everything, but I'm just going to give you some hints on this part. Okay, 4.5, it says create a C++ full program that enable a lecturer to enter mark of student. The lecturer should add marks for test 1, test 2, test 3. Then the program should do the following. First, it must calculate the average of the test. And secondly, show whether the student qualify or not. And lastly, it must also show that the student qualify with distinction if the marks are above 75. So this thing is just simple. What is required here? You first check how many variables are you going to use here to have. We have the one for test number 1, the other one for test number 2, the other one to store the value of test number 3, and the other one to store the average. And yeah, that's it. Because it say enable lecturer to enter the marks of student, the lecturer should add marks for test 1, 2, 3. So it means that the variable that I must have is for test 1, for test 2, for test 3, and the other one is for average. Then it's done. So what you have to do now here is simple and straightforward. Coming to declaration, it's either, even if I give it as an okay, I can first declare. Let me just give them as double, all of them, it's fine. Or you can, it's up to you now, checking on, because these ones, the test 1, test 2, test 3, they're just whole number. You can give them as an integer, but on the average, it might happen that when you do the calculation, it's fall under 3,5 to 0.6. So it's better for me to let me just write it as double, all of them. So I'm going to give them the data type called double. So I'm having test number 1. How do you declare the variable? It's up to you. You invert your own variables. So here my variable, I will call it T1. The other one I will call it T2. The other one I will call it T3. And the other one I will call it result, or I'll call it average. Average. So I declare those variables. So the question says the lecturer must enter the marks for test 1, test 2, test 3. Then the program itself will do the other thing. So in this case now, I'm just going to say to give the values, to initialize each and every variable that I have given. So starting from T1. So I'm going to C in T1. So in order for me to make it interactive, it's better for me to first display the word, for me to first display enter test 1. So the program will do that. We say enter test 1, then wait for the lecture to enter the test 1. So I'm going to copy all this one and then I paste them here. So I'll just change here to say this one is 2 and this one is 3, and also here is test 2 and this test 3. So now we initialize the value for test 1, we initialize the value of test 2, we initialize the value of test 3. So now we want to initialize to give the value for average. So our average is given this way. Average will be equals to what? T1 plus T2 plus T3. Just simple math. How do you calculate average? Simple math. So because there are 3, I'm going to divide by 3. So this is the formula. So you give this formula, T1 plus T2 plus T3 divided by 3, because there are 3. So this is just an average. So if, okay, let me just output this one, then I will output this one to say this one I will just say it was all about the semester mark. So I'll just say semester mark equals to, then I'll put average. Or if you write the average is this one, it's fine. So now, sorry, here it's output, because we want to output this one on the screen. So I'm going to build this one. This is the first step. Let me just check where I didn't terminate this one. I didn't end this line. See out 11. Okay, let me just check my error there. Oh, I didn't end these ones because I was just doing copy and paste. Okay. Now, so now here I'm just going to first run this one. So let's say test 1 the student got 45, test 2 the student got 67, test 3 the student got 76, and then it will give that the semester mark is this one, is 62,6 this 6667. So now then it's fine there. Let me just put it nicely. So it's fine there. So now I am done with the first part to say calculate the average of the test. So now I'm in the part to say show whether the student qualify or not, qualify for exam or not. It must also show qualify with distinction if it's above. So from this one, so we understand that when we run this program, test number 1 got, the student got this one, test number 2 student got this one, test number 3 student got this. So it means that the semester mark for this student is 70. So it's given by the average of the 3. Then from there, we want to give a condition using the conditional structure if and else. So we want to give the condition to say if the marks are greater than 40, because to qualify you must get 40 and above. To qualify to write exam, it's 40 and above. So in this case, you will say if, then you give the condition to say if my average and you put if it's greater or equals to 40. I want to start from here. So if it's greater or equals to 40, it means that what? The student qualify to write. So it must write what? Qualify. We'll just do bit by bit so that everyone will be getting what we are doing. So it means that here I will just write qualify. Here you are saying that if the marks are greater or equals to 40, the student qualify, or else it means that I'm just going to write this statement straight away. It's fine. You can write it that way. There's no problem with that. So, or else the student not qualify. So this is what is going to happen now. So it means that after checking the average, the program will check the condition that you have given in your program to say, okay, this guy also says after getting the results for average, I must put it the results of average on the screen and also evaluate this average by putting this condition in the conditional structure, which is if and else. So on if and else, we say if the average is greater than 40, it must write what? Qualify. Else it must say what? Not qualify. So now I'm just going to run this program and write whatever the student code. Means that because the semester mark is 45, it says what? Qualify. 45 and put qualify there. So let me just run it again. And if the student was lazy, it will write, okay, the semester mark is 20, come out this one, not qualify. So if it's less than 40, it will say not qualify. So how do we, okay, let me just answer, Puru is saying what? Physical, okay. Those students who are saying we are being taught online and why are we writing lecture physically? I don't know what to say for now, but let me just reserve my word. I will say it after. That's not a point. That's not a point. If you want me to give you online, I can do that, but to be sure, there's no one who's going to pass. And don't lead me to that. There is a reason why we have to give you physical test. So I will talk about that later. Let me just first focus on this one. So you guys, all of you are going to write this test in this final. You are going to write on Monday and it's physical. So I'm just, I just want to first finish this one. Then we'll go to that question why people are saying we have been taught online and why are we not writing it online. So I will answer to that. Okay, let me just finish this question. But just know that there is no any other thing that you will do to convince me that we are going to write online. You are going to write physical. So if the average is greater than 40, qualify, or else it will say not qualify. So if you want to give extra condition to say on between 75 above, it must say qualify distinction. So what must you do? So now It's up to you, just like what we did on Excel, even though we were using others formulas. So the same apply here, you can do. It's up to you how you put. If you want to start by failing and you go to the pass one, or you start by the pass, you go to the failing, is up to you. So in my case, I can write it this way, and you can also write it in your own understanding. So now I'm just going to use the first step to say, okay, I just want to say all the students, those ones who get less than 40, they didn't qualify. So if the marks are above, then I will work on that part. Okay, starting from this part, I will say if all the average is less than 40. If it's less than 40, not qualify. Then else if, so you write else if, then here you put the condition. You put the condition to say else if the average to is greater or equals to 40. This same average is less than 75. So we did the logical operator to say the end is given, the answer, the final expression is given when is given true when both sides are true. So if this average is greater or equals to 40 and is less than 75, so it must write what? 5. Then the last part, I can just give it as, so this one, because it's a condition, remember that you must put it inside the block, or you must put it inside the block, because it's a condition. So from there, what you are going to output here on the else part is just to write distinction. Qualify. So let's evaluate this one together. If the average is less than 40, so the program must write the person didn't qualify because it's less than 40. Else, if the average is greater or equals to 40 and is less than 75, it must write what? Qualify. Otherwise, just write qualify distinction. So I'm going to write this one, and the test number 1, 45, test number 2, get this one. It will just say what? Qualify. Okay, let's just run again. Because it's above 75, it says qualify distinction. So let's just run again. Because it's less than 40, it says not qualify. That's it. That's how you can write it. You can do it vice versa, or you start with the qualify, and then you end with not qualify. So it's up to you how you write it there. But that's what you can do to write this qualify, not qualify, and qualify distinction. So that's how you put the condition, just a small thing from here to here, then you are done. So is there anyone who didn't understand this part? Okay, I will assume that you all understand what we were doing. Okay, let me just go to the question to say, what did he say? So the question comes in the morning to say, I'll go to write this thing physical or online, and my answer is to say it's physical. So when Puru write in the morning, I didn't see it clearly that he was talking about the test. So I just say online. So, but this one, the test is going to be physical. So now the question also comes, say, why physical? Because we are doing lecture online. Say, why physical? Because we are doing lecture online. So those ones who are complaining, come with their complaint, give a reasonable explanation why you don't want it to be written in physical, not the explanation to say because we are being taught online. We are doing blended learning. Blended learning it means that it's a mixture of class, contact, and the physical. So we do both. It doesn't matter if I lecture online or I come physical. Why last time when I gave you the test online, why didn't you say when we were doing those final thing, the final assignments and everything on first semester, why didn't you say because whatever things that we were doing, it was physical? Why now are you giving us test online? And on the other modules, the same applies. I'm sure that for now you have many tests that you have written, the class test or small test that you have written online. So why are you not saying, why say are you giving the test online while we are attending the class physical? Why are you not saying that? So that's the level of laziness. I know that when people they are lazy, if you want me to give you the test online, I can do so, and I'll give you only 2 hours to write that test. And if there's a complaint to say by the time when I was writing, there was a network problem, whatever, I won't care about that. I can do that. If you want to force me to do that, I can do that, but just to be sure, you are not going to write for the whole day. If you think maybe I will say, okay, there is the test and it's going to be for the whole day. You are going to write that one in if you are saying the test is 1 hour 30 minutes, you write it 1 hour 30 minutes or 2 hours. And by the time you finish that 2 hours, the test will close. There will come other students who will say again, during the time of the test, there was a load shedding in my place. There was no network in my place. There was this and that. I didn't write. So I have to again give specials to all those individuals. Just like what is happening now. I say there's a class for now. I receive many texts to say there is a problem of a network, bad network. I see the bad networks, there are many. So just imagine those bad networks happen even the same day when we are writing the test. So it means that after writing the test, I must also go again and create another, because I can't give the same. I have to create another test for those ones who have the bad network. So there's no way that you will say I have the bad network if we are coming to write in physical. So I want all of you to come and write this test physical. The hint is there. I have given the previous question paper, and whatever thing, if you are able to answer those previous question paper, there's no way that you can even answer the test. So please don't just make any something that is very much simple and you try to make it difficult. Just come and write. If you are lazy to write, don't come. And just stay at home and you will cry alone trying to get this a special exam, and you find that there's no time for that. And just remember that, guys, this is your final, this is the second semester. Second semester, if you fail second semester, it becomes difficult, because if you fail second semester, it's like you are adding a year. All the second semester module, you have to be serious with them. That is why we try to make them short, so that at least everyone will pass. But if you are trying to make it difficult, then it will become difficult. And once you fail it, you are adding a year. Just imagine that if you fail this one, you are adding a year, and that's the problem. Unlike first semester module, where even if you fail, maybe you can qualify to graduate on September. But if you fail the second semester module, you have to wait for the whole year. So just be serious, go to your books and study. We don't have a lot of things. That is why if you check all those assignments, the exercise that are given there, is something that even this one that you are doing now, is like I'm just giving you the answer before you write, and the answer before you do your assignments. If you check those assignments, all those things we have done them. If you check, it's simple. You just see what we're doing, you write and come and show me. I give you the marks for that, because what I want is that everyone must pass this semester. Because if you don't pass this semester, it will become a problem. So now with this simple thing that I'm giving you, you want to make it complicated. So I don't want to go to a point where I will be forced to say, forced to just say, guys, whatever things that you got is what you got. I'll leave it that way, and then I end there. But if you check, even if there are students who didn't make it, I would try by all means, even towards the end, to say those ones who didn't make it, please, here are some of the things that I can give you to write, so that we can add up to your marks, so that all of you can pass. So just come and write on Monday on paper. Read all those previous question papers that I've sent. There's nothing new that will come on the test. Whatever things that I've given is what will come. I can only change the questions by only saying 1.1 is now 1.7. But it's not like there's something that is going to be new from what I have given you and from what we've done practically and online, whatever things that we are doing, even now what we are doing now here. You just have to get an understanding of what we are doing, then you are done. If you understand the control structure, if and else, if you understand the loop, the do while and everything, all those things, we were doing them practically, and the questions are not going to be that difficult. Now, let's say, for example, you are given something like this on the test, or you want to write it on the book. The only thing that you must first know is to know the structure of a program. So if you are writing a complete C++ program, if the question is given to say write a complete, so you are expected to start from the beginning, include this one. But sometimes you can just say write the code only that can be used to do that, and you say we want you to start from the main function here. So the only thing that I will be focusing here is, if let's say, for example, the question comes as say write the C++ code to calculate the area of a rectangle. Even if you don't want to go far and you say area of a rectangle, this is just a test. Write a C++ code to calculate an area of a rectangle where a user will enter length and breadth, or if it's given, the value are given. Okay, given the following value. Okay, this is just a test. Given the following values and the following values, then we say L, and then we give equals to B. Equals to 5, and we say and B equals to 11. And the last one, A equals to L multiplied by B. So the question can come this way to say, given the following values, L equals to 5, B equals to 11, and A equals to L multiplied by B. Write a C++ code to calculate the value of A. So what you are expected to do is simple. First, you have to declare the variable. Okay, you say, okay, I have the variable. You just write double. You have variable L. You have variable B. You have variable A. Then you end it. So after declaration, what do? You initialize the value to each variable that you have declared. Then you say, okay, my L is equals to, because it's given there, it's A, it's 5. My B is equals to 11. And then my A is equals to L multiplied by B. It means that the output of this program will be A. Then you are done. Just to write these ones from here, you are showing me that you know how to declare the variable, you know how to initialize this one. So this is the code that will calculate the value of A. So given the following value, L equals to 5, B equals to 11, A equals to this one, write a simple code to calculate the value of A. So you can start from declaring, then you initialize all these three values, then you output, then you are done. So, but if I say write a complete C++ program, is when now you must start from hash include IOStream using namespace std, and then so if it's a complete program, it has to be like this. Let me just cut this one and put it here. So this is a question given the following values. Write a C++ program. Write a C++ full program to calculate value or to calculate area of a rectangle. Now this is the question. Given the following value, this one, write. I can write it this way. It depends. Anything is fine. Even if I say, given the following values, L equals to 5, B equals to 11, write a C++ full program to calculate the area of a rectangle. So I will just expect you to know the area of a rectangle, or I can just say given knowing. For those one who doesn't know how to calculate or what is the area of a rectangle, so knowing that, so this is just a simple equation, and it says given the following value, L equals to 5, B equals to 11, write a C++ full program to calculate the area of rectangle, knowing that area is given by L multiplied by B. So what must you do if you get this kind of a question? So you will say hash include IOStream using namespace standard int main. So inside you write this. So inside you write that. So this is the complete program. So this program, if you write this thing, then you get those full marks that will be given there. The question can also come to say, write a C++ full program to calculate the area of a rectangle, knowing that A is given by L multiplied by B, and the user, so I can write it this way. The question can also come this way and say, write plus full program to calculate the area of a rectangle, knowing that area is given by this, and the program ask the user to enter the values of L and B. So if the question says the user must enter the value, so it means that instead of this step where the value were given, you are just going to say cout. So because the program must ask the user to enter the value of L and B. So we will say cout enter value of whatever thing that you can write, or you just say enter length. It's fine. Then you say cin. So the same thing again, you write it down there. Sorry, Control S. So the same thing again, you write it down, enter the value of P, then B. So if the question comes the first way, you write what I have written first. If the second comes the second way, then you write this one. And from there, it means that from this program, it will say enter the value of A. So it say a user, the program must ask the user to enter the value of L. So here it says enter the value of L. So it means that it's asking the user to enter the value of L. I write 45, the value of B. You write whatever, then the program will give the results. So that's it. So I don't think there's anything that will be difficult from there. So what I see that the students are just lazy. Is there any difficulty from that? Is there any difficulty from that?
No, sir.
All right, I'm just waiting for some other questions. Okay, let me just also check. Where is that this question from the previous question paper? Where are the other questions that, okay, definition you have to read. So all those definitions you have to read. What is the use of the following? What is the use of the following? You have to read, because I have given you this previous question paper so that you can go and read there. What is the use of the following? We give the double forward slash. What is the use of? Is to comment a single line. Return 0, you are declaring that the program is ending. You can also read from the lecture manual there. All these things are given. What is the use of this? We give this block comment. You say this is a block comment, so you use it to comment a block of statement. So using the structure of a program and knowing the structure of a program and the use of comments in C++, write a piece of code in C++ that will print out the sentence, hello Univen, I'm a C++ programmer. Using the comment, this is my first C++ code. So that is just simple. So before you attempt to answer that, you know that, okay, it means that on top, you must give the comment. You must start with the comment, / double / comment. The comment says you must write, this is my first C++ code test. So you write that. This is my first C++ code test. So you show that you understand the comment. You write the structure of a program. Inside the structure of a program, we want you to just output the words hello Univen. I'm a C++ program. Hello Univen. This thing is just simple as that. So writing that one, you get those marks, the 2 marks that are given. The only part that I'm going to look at is to the comment part, 1 mark. See out, 1 mark. So from there, the one for pi radius square I've given, the last one for 4,5 from the previous question exam paper I have given is what we've done before now. So what else now? Let's just go to supplementary, the one for supplementary. So on the one for supplementary, if you check the one for exam, from those papers that I've given, the one for exam and also the one for supplementary is the same thing. If you check, you find that there's this thing, the setting is the same. So even in your test, the setting is the same. There's no any other thing that I'm going to give them, which I didn't mention them in class or during this online teams. So everything that I said in class there physically and what I have said here during the online classes, all those things that I was saying, you will see the messages. So the other part is the other thing that I can include there is from the other one that I said for where is that one? I'm sure that what I'm saying you have it because I already sent. If you didn't check, then it's up to you. So multiple choice. Just multiple choice, you understand this simple stuff there. And on the multiple choice is something that is straightforward. Which of the following is correct when you are commenting? And I put 3 of them which are incorrect, 1 which is correct. You choose from that. Which of the following is not correct variable type, data type? So you know that from the data type we have int, we have float, we have double, the real is not there. So it means that you just choose that the B is the one which is not correct. Which of the following is correct operator to compare 2 variables? So if you want to compare 2 variables, which one is correct? Which of the following is the Boolean operator for logical AND? So logical AND is AND. It's written there. Which of the following show the correct syntax for an if statement? So how do we write the if statement? So it's number C from there. And I don't see anything which is difficult, and I'm not sure why people are scared to write. If you read from all those previous question paper, you will see that there is nothing which is difficult there. And debug the following, the last question was saying debug the following program. If you analyze that program from line 1 to 26, starting from line number 2, you see there is a problem there. The person just started by saying, this is my first program. The person didn't even put the comments, those double forward slash to show that this line is a comment. So those words will be recognized by the compiler and it will give them as an error. Hash include IOStream, okay, everything is fine. Using namespace standard, everything is fine. And then will you go to line number 10, int A, B, C? Someone now says, when I was writing, say, hey, sir, you didn't terminate there, you didn't end. So it means that these guys, they know, or there is an error. So int A, B, C, there is no termination there. You have to terminate. So how do you write it? You say line number 2, /. On line number 10, you write it, you debug it by, the line number 2, you write for /, this is my first program. Line number 10, int A, B, C, you terminate. Then we go to 12, okay? If you go to line number 13, C in A is not declared there because this A is capital letter A, and I declare those other variables as small letters. So line number 13, there's an error. A capital letter A instead of small letter A. Then line number 18, there is an error, capital letter B instead of small letter b. Then it's done. I don't see any difficulty with this thing. I don't see any difficulty. If you really are following everything, you will see that this thing is just simple and straightforward. It just give away. It's like it's an open book test. You are given an answer before you go and write, and you are crying to say you don't want to write. You want online, then I can give online. I don't have a problem with that, but I will give time and say those who didn't write, it's up to them. I'm not going to give them anything again. Then I will end it there. You will write the assignments and in that last project, and whatever things that you get, you get. But I'm trying to be simple. Okay, waiting for a question. I'm waiting for any other question there. Any part that you say, okay, this part is confusing me, that is why I'm not even ready to write. Okay, the other question says, how do I know that this variable is for double or int or float? Okay, you can go and refer to the data type, but now let me just explain simply so that at least you understand. But you can also go and check the variables data types. But to make it simple, without you going to check, this is what is going to happen now here. I'm just going to show you and write these three. How many? It says int, okay, int, and you say double. The other one is float, okay. If you go and check on the data types, you will see that the integer, this is all about what can I call it? Okay, let me just say the space. I'm just going to first explain int and double so that you understand. Then the double and float together, and so that you can have a further understanding. The int is just a whole number, So whole number. Just write it this way, so that maybe this way it will make simple. So double, it can cover even the numbers with commas. So let's say, let me just give a practical example so that it will be clear to everyone. Let's say, for example, I am about to calculate the area of rectangle, for example, rectangle. I'm going to calculate the area of a rectangle, for example. So we understand that the area is given by L multiplied by B. So the person says, how do I know that this variable is for double? How do I know that this variable I must use it as a double? Okay, this is how you can know. If we're talking about length, so we are talking about the measurement. You want to measure the length. So it's possible that, let's say for example, when you are measuring the length, let's say for example, you with the length of your one room. So you want to measure the length. It's possible that when you are measuring, the length can be 2,5, or 3,5. So you say, okay, in my room, I want the length of my room, or the length of my room is 3,5, for example. So if you declare the variable L as an integer, because integer is just a whole number. So if you declare as an int, so it means that if you measure your length and you find that the length is 3,5, your compiler will recognize, will say, if you declare it as an int, the value that will be given, even if you write 3,5, the comma, any number after the comma is not going to be part or to be recognized. In this nowadays compiler, it will, at first it will say, when you just type 3,5, it will say an error, because you declare as an integer. An integer is a whole number. A whole number, it means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So just a whole number, 25, 27, 21. But if you are putting it with a comma, then it means that you have to declare it as a double, because the number has commas. The difference between double and float is just the space. So you can declare it as double, or you can declare it as float. So the float contains even the larger number than the double. So this float can go up to, you can just check it from the data types there, that it can store up to how many digits. So the difference between this one is just the space. So this float can go up to larger number, and the double is limited. But just like on the calculator, if you check, not all the calculator can contain up to 13 digits. So the other calculator will maybe contain up to let's say 13 only. So all the digits up to 13 digits, you can declare them as double. But if you declare them as float, it means that it can even go above 13 digits. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can put this number like this, even with commas, something like that. So the difference here, if I can write it now and write this program to say, I declare these ones to say int A, L, and B, like this. So I'm saying this variable will contain integer values. So now you are writing your L, let's say for example, your L is, I will show you now, is 13, and then you say your B is 12. Then you say my A is given by L multiplied by B. So we want to output the value of A. Okay, we want to output the value of A. So let me just run this one so that you will see the difference from there. Why always when I write don't terminate? Okay. So now the value for this one is 156. Okay. So what if maybe when I was measuring, I get that the length is 13,2. And I measure the breadth, and I get that this one is 13,1. Okay. Let me just run. When I build it, it's okay, everything is fine. Okay. Let's just run it. So it's what? It gives me 156. Can you see? But these values are not correct. These values are not correct. 156 are not correct. The correct value will be given if you put it as double. So if I give this one as double, you will get even the commas. Because the correct value, check the difference now. You see, it was writing 156. But the correct value for this area, it was supposed to be 159,27. Why was it giving me 156? Is because I first declare them as an integer. So if I declare this variable as an integer, it will take only the whole number, the first part. So it will only calculate this one and leave the commas there. So when you are calculating something like an area, you must be sure that it's obvious that when you are calculating area, it will have some commas. So that is why I have to declare them as double. But if you find that maybe the project that you are running on is going to, or the calculation that is going to be performed by the program, is going to result in a value where maybe, for example, the digits will be above 30. So you can say, okay, now because I'm going to deal with big numbers, let me just use the float. So this is the only, in this small program that we do, the data type that we normally use is just integer and double. But not saying that if you use float, it will say an error. So float, it's just that the advantage of it can store up to larger number. So if you are using the character, only the character is when now you can just use the data type char, which is for character, CHAR for character. So that's how maybe you. I'm not sure if maybe I managed to answer it clearly to you. I don't know who is this person. So if you got it right, you can just say it, because you didn't even write the names there. I just saw it from the WhatsApp. How do I know that this variable is for double or for integer? So when you are writing a test and you give, for example, an area, and you write a data type integer, we can give you to say what you have written is correct, but just be sure that the values that will be calculated by your program are not correct. The writing is correct, and when you run it, you can pass. So, but the values that is going to be determined by your program is not accurate. It's not accurate. So that's how maybe I can simply explain that between double and int. To say int deals with the whole numbers, and the double is any number even with the commas, and the float one, the difference between the double and the float is just the amount of the value that it can contain. So the double can contain a larger number, and float can contain the number that is above the double one. So you can also go and refer to the notes, the sizes. It's up to which size. If you are answered or you got it, just let me know. And if you are still confused also, just let me know. I wanted to show you All right, thank you very much. Okay, the person said it was clear. Okay, if you got it, then it's fine. I wanted to also show you from, okay, variable and data type, this part. So you can go to page number 52 and check the results. Those sizes there. We have short ints. It's all about the size here. This one can go to up to 2 bytes, and the integer can go up to 4 bytes. So here it's given that the range of this one is from this to this. And then the range for long integers is for 4 bytes, and the range is from this to that. The boolean is from this one to that. Yeah, I also got the mistake that I made there to put them vice versa. The float is up to 4 bytes, so it goes up to 15 digits, and the long double, it goes to 15 digits. So this one is, if you check here, it's written with commas, and these ones for integers, there are the whole numbers without commas. So just to rectify the mistake of double and float, just check from this one that float is just limited to this 7 digits, and the size is 4 bytes, and the double, the size is 8 bytes, which is up to these digits that are given. So the character one, we have double char underscore t, which is 2, the size is 2 or 4 bytes. It's one wide character. We have the smaller one, this one, which is 1 byte, minus 128 to 127 unassigned. So this one is all about the sizes and also the range. The size and also the range. Okay, there is another part that I wanted to say it. I think I just mentioned it, but I didn't go further with it, because sometimes you will see this one, the global and the local variable. Global and local variable. What is the difference between this global and the local variable? You can declare the variable outside the main function, and all these variables that you can declare them outside the main function are the global variable. It means that if you declare them outside the main function, like in that case where you are using the switch. So when you are using the switch, you find that maybe, for example, you want to declare variable only, let's say that switch where you have to add, subtract, and divide and multiply. Instead of you going to each and every case and declare new variable, new variable, new variable, you can declare those variables outside the main here, so that inside the switch there, on case number 1, what you have to do, you just start with the calculation. You just start by initializing, by initializing the value, instead of you again declaring those variables. So if you declare them here on this side, or if you declare them as a global variable outside the main function, it means that this variable you can access them anywhere in the program. So this is the difference between the global and the local. So all the local variable you can access them locally. So it means that if, for example, in the case in the selective switch, you have let's say, for example, you have 5 or 6 cases. So in every case, if you want to declare the variable as local, in every case you must declare all those variables. But you can make it your program to be short by declaring the variable outside. For example, you say int, or you declare double, or give any data type, you say A, B, and C. You know that the A is for the first value, and the B is for the second value, and the C is my result. So when you go to case number 1, instead of you again says int A, B, C, you will just start by giving the value to say C in the value of A, C in the value of B, then the answer is this. Go to case number 3, that's like that. Instead of you go declaring variable again and again. So that's where maybe you can understand, you can just go and read from the lecture manual, the ones that are given. Global variable can be referred from anywhere in the code, even inside the function, whenever it is after its declaration. The scope of local variable is limited to block enclosed in braces. So where they are declared. For example, if they are declared at the beginning of the body of the function, like in function main, their scope is between its declaration point and the end of that function. So that's what happened. That is what is happening there in global and local variable. So any variable that you declare outside the main function, you can use it anyway. But if you declare them as local, will only be available in that block of statements that you are writing in your function. I'm not sure if that one is clear or is confusing. So this one can help you when you are writing those assignments. Not like if you declare them locally, we will say you are wrong. But I'm just saying, if you want to save time of declaring variable again and again, you can just declare them outside the main function and you access them in the main function. Then it will be fast. You see that even your code will be will not that be big. So let me just give you an example here from what I have written. Okay, is this one? I don't know if okay, data structure, control structure. Okay, for example, in this case, I just declare this variable. What happened is that any variable that you can declare them outside the function, like this one, I declare the variable n1 and n2. So in all these cases here, because they are outside the function or the switch function, so I declare them outside the switch function. So if I declare them outside the switch function, so I can access them anyway. You can put them here outside the switch function, or even if I put them before the main, I put them before the main in this part, it's still accurate. So you can put them here, and you say because they are outside the main function, so they can be accessed by any case. So any variable that you will declare outside the function will become global. But if you put them inside the function, it becomes local. So in my case, I didn't have to say, when I start from here, I didn't have to say, if you check from case number 1, I didn't start by saying int n1, int n2. Then I give the result. I just start by saying enter the first value, enter the second value. Then I do the calculation. Again, I'm using the same variable. I'm using the same variable n1. I'm using the same variable n1. So to make it simple, you can do that. So I'm just helping you so that you can try to make your code to be short and straightforward, other than writing the longer source code. Any other question? Any other question?
Will we be required to write the whole program in the answer book?
Yeah, it depends on the question.
Oh, okay.
It will depend on the question. Let me just, okay. I wanted to, where's this one? Okay, where did I put those previous question paper? And then, okay, let me just get it from, yeah, I see many things happening there on the group. People are crying. Okay. Let's say, for example, let me just check here from this question, previous question paper. And yeah, I think all of them, these ones, they were saying write full. So it will depend on the question. If the question says write full, yes, then you have to write full. So if the question says just write a code, C++, just simple C++ code to do this one, to calculate the area of a sphere, then what you have to do is simple. It's just that now I was just, if I was having a, okay, just that I didn't come with my pen, the one that I can use on the PC. Let me just see if I can quickly use what do you call this thing? Whiteboard. Whiteboard. I don't have whiteboard. Okay, just that I don't have the whiteboard here. Okay. I wanted to just write it using the hand, so that maybe at least you can just get how to write it. But it's very much simple. And what you can just do, if you are given this program, what you have to just do when you are writing, you just write from the beginning, because this one, it says full C++ program. Before you write, what you have to just analyze what you are going to write it. You are going to write. You analyze the program. It says surface of a sphere. So you know that you are going to have three variables. So what you have to do, you just have your rough work, or even in your mind, you know, okay, now I'm going to have three variables in this program, and the only place where a user will enter the value is for R. So okay, in this case, I'm starting my program, dash include IO stream using namespace std, going to main, int main, you open, you write. Your first thing is to declare the variable double area pi r. You terminate. From there, you say enter the value of r. Then you see in r. From there, you go to pi, and pi is given by this, area is given by this, see out area. Then you are done. You close. Go to the second question. Just like that. I don't think it will be difficult. Just go and try it now and write it down. Just write these questions, write them down. What is the use of the following? Write the use of this for double forward slash, you know that this is a single line comment. So what is the use of this single line comment to comment a single line? What is the use of referring to the end of the program? What is the use of cout? This one allow the compiler to output on the screen. What is the use of this one? You are telling the preprocessor to include the IO stream in the program. In this one, this is a block comment. So you comment a block of statement. Then from there, C++, knowing the structure of a program and use of the comment. So here we want to see if you know the structure of the program and how to use the comment in C++. So you are going to write this code. So in this case, you can answer it in two ways. It's up to you. Even if in this case you only show me how to put the comment and how to output how to write this word cout, this word univen, hello univen, I'm a C++ programmer. So in this case, because it says piece of code, so you don't even have to bother. You don't even have to bother to start from above to say hash include what. You can just start by writing the piece of code to print out this statement. What is the piece of code to print out this statement in C++? Cout, you put those double less than sign inside the bracket, inside the braces. Hello world, I'm a C++ programmer. Double forward slash, this is my first C++ code. So we write it that way. This one I explained. And this one, what you have to do in your mind, you know that you are going to have 4 variables. Write the structure of a program, start hash include IO stream using namespace standard int main. You declare the variable test1, test2, test3, and the average. From there, test1, enter the value of test1, enter test2, enter test3 with the C in there. From there, you make the calculation, you put those if and else statement down, then you are done. It's not going to be that difficult. There are many students who have done this previously, so it must not become difficult with you guys. So I don't think the test will be difficult. And I'm 100% sure that there are students who will get total. If whatever things that I was saying, you were taking it, I'm 100% sure that there are students who are going to get total. That one I'm quite sure of. That it's easy to get total. This one is 25 marks. There are some multiple choice. There's a true or false questions. There are true or false questions where, let's say, for example, I ask you true or false. So when you end the program or when you end the statement in C++, you use a semicolon. And you know that it's not a semicolon, it's a colon. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. If I say when you end a program, you use a colon, and you know that it's not a colon, it's a semicolon. Or I just write, this is the sign. Okay, I write. I just start the question by putting this semicolon. Okay, let me just make it big. True or false? We use this, and I write the same as inside the brackets. We use this to end the statement in C++. So this is true true or false. You are asked this kind of a question. We use this to end the statement in C++. What is the answer for that? If we say this one is A, and the question says, we use this, we give that symbol, we use this to end the statement in C++. What will be the answer if the question is true or false?
False.
True.
Eh? You see, someone is failing
False.
even now. Eh? I am getting false and I'm getting true. Which one must I take?
True.
That's simple as if I have given all the hints for the test, it's like I have given all the memorandum for the test. I don't know now. If someone failed, then I don't know what to do then.
It's true, sir.
Huh?
True. True.
Yeah. So I'm saying now I've given everything that you are supposed to, I was supposed to hit all this information before you write. But now I try by all means to disclose everything, even the questions to the test. I've disclosed everything, and at the end, I will get someone getting 0 or someone getting 6. Then I don't know what to do with that person. Because if you check from now, it's like this whole meeting was all about answering your main test 2 questions. I almost give 80% of the test with what I was doing. So for a person to fail, then I don't know what to do now. Is there a possibility that there's someone who will fail? Okay, these people, they're tired. And then,
It's been a long.
yeah?
It's been a long. Since when last?
Yeah, at least I understand. So I'm just going to end the meeting here.